2nd of September 1945. World War II had just ended after 6 years of violence, fear, and genocide. One of the great wars that had affected nearly every country in the world was finally over. But what sort of lasting impact did the war have on Germany? How did the children of the new post-war Germany adjust to the grief and guilt attached to their identities as Germans? These are some of the many questions war immigrant Erika Kovacs had to deal with as a German refugee.
When we came to Australia on the ship, all the migrants were very sad that they were leaving Europe, and the Germans sang a song called Adieu du mein lieb Heimatland, which means goodbye, my dear homeland. And they were all crying. All the migrants were crying while they were singing it.
Erika Kovacs is a war immigrant from Czechoslovakia who migrated to Australia nearly 70 years ago. At 79, Erika still can recall many of her childhood memories vividly.
I was born in 1939 when the war started. We lived in a school. I was born in a school, actually, because when we escaped from Hungary to Czechoslovakia, a school was arranged for my father to work like as a German teacher, which also had accommodation. In Austria, I was in boarding school. The reason we were in boarding school is because my mother had tuberculosis. My mother couldn't look after us, and she had 5 children under about 10 or whatever, and so we were all put into a boarding school.
Erika and her family migrated to Australia in 1950, 5 years after World War II had ended. Despite their seemingly easy voyage years after the threat of war had evaporated, the Kovacs were constantly fleeing from Russian invasion as they drifted from Czechoslovakia to Austria-Hungary, with the borders constantly changing in the early 1940s. In fact, when Erika's mother was 9 months pregnant with her, she had to protect herself, her husband, and her unborn baby from partisan attack.
Yes, that was in 1939 when we left what is now Ukraine, but then it was Hungary, and we went into Czechoslovakia, and there was a partisan. He was about to shoot and kill my father, and my mother, 9 months pregnant with me, jumped in front of my father and started speaking to him in Russian about the sanctity of motherhood and about his mother, the guy's mother. So the fellow put his gun down and went away. So it was very brave. My mother was a very brave woman, very strong, brave woman. My father was cowering behind her. Christmas was beautiful. You know, it was snow, and you don't have Santa Claus. You have a Christkindl, which is Christ child. But Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, came on the 6th of December, gave people, children, fruit and nuts and things. No presents, but Christmas time was different. Then it was, for the children, it was a big event, and they usually got presents, and it was a very nice time for children.